Chairman of this occasion. I stand by the existing protocol because of time. I want to appreciate everything that has been said here concerning the youth. One of the greatest challenges we have in this country today is corruption. If we talk about job for the youth, if we talk about all the virtues and the potentials that the youth have to be able to showcase themselves for development in this country without handling the endemic corruption in this country will be a great problem. In talking about my goodwill message, I like to take this opportunity to make 3 quick remarks, the youth. I will not talk so much about it again because all of us have said what potentials the youth have, how we should harness it. We've spoken passionately on how a youth from nothing can be able to create something. We listened to the chairman of this occasion. I was really touched. Going down from what Dr. Amadi said and every other person that has spoken, I will not dwell so much on that again. So we all have realized over time in this country that in spite of all the virtues and all the good, that the youth have. Thank you. Okay. Sorry about that. This is part of the problem that we are experiencing in the country. So apart from those virtues that the youth in Nigeria, as in other African countries, they grapple with the problem of corruption, ranging from exam malpractices to fraud, cybercrime, embezzlement, just like the adults. Yes. This is so because the young people are very good at learning from the adults in society. And what have the adults showcased today? You discover that in the past, some of the changes that we've seen in this country were spearheaded by the adults we see today. And what are we experiencing? And then when we talk of the youth of today, what are the virtues? We can't find a lot of them trying to fight for the good of this country. Instead, most of them are involved in the corruption. If you ask a child today, what do you want to be? I want to be a millionaire. I want to be this, I want to be that. Without thinking about things that will bring about economic or social development in this country. It is a great challenge. This is so because the young people are very good at learning from the adults in society. Over the years, as the incidence, magnitude, and extent of corruption increase, the youth are being socialized into the culture of corruption by the social reality which they live on today. However, I want to talk about the effect of corruption. A lot of us have heard the man from the National Orientation Agency has talked a lot about the effect, the roads that you're supposed to, drive on, employment like we talked about, basic amenities, hospitals, and all of this. A lot of us have talked more on this. We don't have it. Why? Because of corruption. And what we see today among our youth is a desire to be corrupt. But the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has a desire to take this corruption, this war against corruption, to everybody, to all Nigerians, to buy into it. And that is why the department which I represent, the Public Enlightenment Department, remains very astute in carrying the corruption message to all parts of the country. And like we all know, the EFCC remains the leading agency in the fight against corruption and other economic crimes in West Africa sub-region. The vision is to make Nigeria a safe and corruption-free nation and enhance the positive image of the country. The mission of the Commission is to curb the menace of corruption by investigation, prosecution of all forms of economic and financial crimes, which is by the establishment of the EFCC Act 2004. The mandate of the Commission to rid the nation of corruption is also articulated by engaging in rigorous public enlightenment, creating awareness, soliciting for public partnership in the fight against economic and financial crimes in the country. I can see a lot of youth corps members here. A lot of our programs to the youth, we have some programs in the youth camp, we have some programs for the primary schools, secondary schools, and all of that. And most of you here could attest to that because you are members of that club. The Commission is convinced that to win the war against economic and financial crimes, it must have a more robust citizen participation. It also believes that it could create greater impact if more attention is paid to the crime prevention holistically, which is why the Public Enlightenment Department of the EFCC was established. Finally, it is important to let you know that we encourage partners with Nigerian people, especially the youth, to become active change agents in the fight against economic and financial crimes. We encourage you all to contribute to the process by bringing on board your diverse experiences, skills, and perspectives to promote a workable corruption prevention and eradication agenda for the country. At this point, I want to let all of us know that it is not just in arrest, it's not just in investigation and prosecution. The EFCC is also saddled with the responsibility of prevention. So I use this forum to advocate that for all of you, wherever you are, whatever you do, whether business or you are in government, ensure that you fight this war against corruption. It is not just an EFCC thing. At the end of it, it is not just the country for EFCC, it's for you and me. If you take responsibility that you are in Nigeria and you want to ensure that things go well, for you to have jobs, for you to have all the basic amenities that you need in this country, then you must get involved in this fight against crime. Corruption. Corruption, like the name implies, is something that is not good. It's rotten. So none of us should desire to be corrupt. And I want to tell you as a youth, if you begin to sow a seed of corruption today, how will it be tomorrow? It's the instruction of what everybody is telling you here that you obey today that will create your future. So if you want a good future for yourself, then live a corruption-free life. Live a life of integrity. I like that word integrity because it starts with one, you. So don't think of somebody out there. When the chairman was talking about that young man, I looked at it. I said, look, what of himself? If he feels that there is no hope, then he himself is involved in something that he feels cannot change. So impossibility lies in the bosom of a fool. I want to line up with that reasoning. So this country must change, but all of us must involve in this war against corruption. Thank you very much.